Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am the stepson of Krypton, and with me today is a special guest host, Xander Diamond. He is the lead singer of Mantis's band Milksteak.
Milk steak. I'm not putting milk
Just
steak.
put steak. Just
I'm gonna put
regular
steak.
steak, and then
Don't
that way
put
it's a good
steak. Put milk
compromise.
steak. She'll know what it is.
No, she won't know what it is,
She'll
Charlie.
know
Nobody
what it
knows what that
is.
is.
Yeah, it's actually my band. Yeah, Mantis is he's just the guitarist, but yeah, man, it's great to be on here. You know, we were rehearsing a little bit, and he was kind of faltering on his triplets on the alien scale. I was kind of giving him shit about it, but I was like, you know what, you need to stay out there and practice, and I'll come in here and do your little podcasty thing or whatever. So.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to follow up with this discussion we've got about the Spider-Man 4 rumors. So, Xander, if you are ready,
About the
we are
what?
gonna Spider-Man 4 rumors. Did did
Uh,
did Mantis not go over this with you?
Fuck nah, man. He just said sit in the seat and some guy will be on the screen. So like I'm just like, hey, what's up? Nah, man, I seen Spider-Man. I know Spider-Man. Yeah.
This should be fun. So we are going to go ahead and get on into the discussion.
Yeah. Is yeah, let's get into it.
All right, guys. So today we're going to do a short video on some of the new rumors surrounding the Spider-Man 4, which will actually still feature Tom Holland, as far as we know. I mean, shit could hit the fan. But they've included a couple of new rumors. Again, nothing confirmed on this right now. As we said in a previous video, we're never going to bring you the fake news. We're going to tell you it's not confirmed, but that Sydney Sweeney will be joining the cast. Now, for those of you who don't know, she was in the Madam Web that did not do very well. Xander, did you watch Madam Web?
Shit, nah, man. I ain't got time for that shit. No, but I saw like the stuff in the tabloids and whatnot. We were in New York doing a little gig at some hole in the wall bar, and you know they got those guys out on the street that are selling tabloids and stuff. And now it was all over like Times Square and shit too. They had these big signs and stuff all over the boards. And I was like, "Hey man, what the fuck is that?" And he was like, "Oh, that's some crappy Spider-Man knockoff bullshit." So I ain't never seen it, but I know for a fact who Sydney Sweeney is. She's the chick with the big ass, right? She got big ass. I know what you're talking about.
I guess it
Right?
depends on your definition of ass here, but bringing it.
She got the big tits, right? That's who it is. Oh yeah, the blonde with the big tits. Yeah. I know what you're talking about now. Okay, yeah.
Yes, yes, she does. But bringing it back to kind of the realm of what the show is about, since it is about,
But she's in it though, right?
Rumored to be in it. Now, it is not stated whether or not the Madam Web will tie in to Spider-Man 4, given the disastrous results of what happened with Madam Web, or not. I assume since she was in Madam Web and then she's going to be in this, they're going to have to try to tie it in. Otherwise, it's going to be too weird. But again, everything at this point is just speculation. We'd gotten the news. Mantis and I had gotten the news, and we wanted to do a quick video on this because there came one other interesting piece of information. Sam Raimi.
Yeah. Mantis was telling me about this. Yeah, he was telling me about this because I remember this shit, man. This was like, I don't know. Our band Milkshake, we've been in New York City back in the fucking 2000s, right? This was when the whole Spider-Man series started, right? Like at least that I remember with Tobey Maguire and whatnot, right? We were doing a gig down there and we saw this actually filming, and it was the craziest shit. Like Sam Raimi, I know I've watched some other movies too. Like I'm more into horror side stuff. I know Mantis, he deals with a lot of the nerdy shit and whatnot, but like I like the horror flicks. Well, he did some crazy remake of Evil Dead too, and it was fucking awesome. I mean, it was gross as shit too, but like it was still pretty good. But he's doing what I heard. He's doing this movie too.
He rumored, yes, he is going to be a part of this movie, and you are correct. Once we wade through all of the other stuff there, information we got there, which we thank you for, that yes, he was a part
Hey
of the
man,
original
it's
Spider-Man
my
series.
it's my appreciation. I thank you. Yeah.
So yes, look forward to more of that. So it is interesting to see again other rumors floating around the Spider Verse here was that they were talking about working with Andrew Garfield to bring out an Amazing Spider-Man 3, which is interesting that Sam Raimi being attached to this project, given that he was invested so heavily with the original Spider-Man trilogy, that they wanted to possibly do an Amazing Spider-Man 3 with Andrew Garfield, since we just recently saw all of them together in Spider-Man No Way Home.
I'm still like that you fought an alien in space.
I'm lame compared. Like I fought a Russian guy in a rhinoceros machine.
So it'd be interesting to see if this is the resurgence of those universes, right? Are we finally going to get the Amazing Spider-Man 3? Are we going to get a little tie-in with Spider-Man 4 and Sam Raimi's vision of how he did it? As long as he doesn't do it like the third Spider-Man movie, I think we're good. So,
Fuck yeah, man. I'm fucking rock and roll, man. That third movie, that shit, to me, it felt like straight up emo goth, right? Like, nah, man, I'm rock and roll all the way. I didn't dig into that stuff. Hell no.
you wouldn't be out there dancing on the streets of New York. So,
Not like that.
you're telling me there's no footage of you dancing on the streets of New York like that?
I'm not saying it don't exist. I'm just saying I may have been, it may have Christmas may have come early. I may have been a little on the booger sugar. You never know.
Was it a white Christmas?
That's what I'm saying, man. Like when you get to New York, things change. Things change. And especially with the Spider-Man series, like that third film, I could get down with 1 and 2. Like I said, I was there. We were there. Milksteak was there on the first one. Like we auditioned for the film too, because we were gonna play. I had this thing for Kristen Dunst, because she's just so pretty. But I was trying to follow. I mean, I wasn't following her. They said I was stalking, but it wasn't stalking at the time. Like I was just trying to give her a free invitation to our show, but like the bodyguards wouldn't let me. I don't know. It was some weird misunderstanding. But like after that, I was like, I'm done with this shit. But actually, that movie turned out great. Sam Raimi did great with that movie. The second one was pretty good too. It felt like a comic book movie I was watching, and I'm not even into comic book movies, like I said, but it was good. And then the third one, and me and Mantis talked about this, the third one was just no good. Just no good.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, though. Was it Madison Square Gardens you guys were playing at?
No, it was Gardens on the Square. It was like this little joint around the corner. It wasn't that big of a stage, but they had good buy one get one free appetizers, so we thought it was okay.
I mean, you can't go wrong with buy one get one free appetizers. So,
Yeah, yep.
That's
what I
I'm
said.
feeling it. I'm feeling it. All right,
Yep.
all right. So then, what are your thoughts on? Let's expand it a little bit here because there's been, we've been in this world of comic book movies where everything's been trilogies, right? Even going into the Star Wars universe, everything's always trilogies. Like everything came out in threes. Well, now with Thor: Love and Thunder, we hit a fourth Thor movie, and now we're looking at a fourth Spider-Man. Now they are going to do a fourth Captain America. However, that's with a different Captain America. Anthony Mackie's taking over the mantle. However, like with Thor and this one, this is going to include Tom Holland, so it will be a fourth movie for him.
Oh man, fourth no. No, it's three, man. It's the Three Musketeers, the Three Blind Mice. That old song from the sea.
7 chipmunks twirling on a branch, eating lots of sunflowers on my uncle's ranch. You know that old children's tale from the sea?
You know what I'm saying? Like, we
Three-
deal with threes here.
Three Amigos.
Yeah,
Menage,
Like,
Menage a Trois.
Yeah. It's not a four thing. In my opinion, they should stick to trilogies. That all the threes are good. The Three's Company, the three Star Wars movies, and then they kind of got crazy and whatnot.
Say Three's Company, Three Stooges, Three Musketeers, Three Pete, Three Strikes You Out, Three Times a Lady,
Three Dimensions,
Three Blind Mice.
It's Menage a Trois. Don't forget that one.
The four is where it kind of gets into what are we doing here territory. Something needs to change. There's usually a reset by then, right? Like they get into these weird story arcs that don't start to make any sense. I'm not a fan of the four in the same storyline. I think three's the golden number there,
Well, so the funny thing is, similar to what's happened in the DC universe with the rebooting with the young actors so they can carry the franchise. Well, now Tom Holland has played Spider-Man in Captain America Civil War. He's been in Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, and 3 of his own solo movies, getting ready to be a 4th, right? So he's carrying the franchise and the character well past just 3 movies where we're getting more story with him. We're getting to know him as our Spider-Man. Could you see, and again, this is also rumors, that he is booked for 6 Spider-Man movies. Not Captain America, not Avengers, 6 Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. It's
That's
just
2
like
sets
I
of
said,
3.
I know you get maybe if they break it up to where it doesn't feel like 6 movies all concurrent, that it would feel better, But again, I think a story arc, just like any movie, just like any TV show, has got to have a beginning, a climax, and an end, right? And when you get into 6 movies, it's just harder to do that. I think the three is where it's at. Like I just look back in, because I was born in the 80s, so like when I think of 80s movies, I'm thinking of like Aliens. The second movie is the climax, right? Like we talked about Star Wars, which was a little bit earlier, but the second movie, Empire Strikes Back, was the climax. It was the best of them, right? When you get into 6, I just think it's a little iffy. You're skating on thin ice. I don't know. I'm a fan of keeping it in 3s, and maybe if they kind of cut it where it's a different story arc, it's the same character but completely different what's going on. It's not connected at all. Maybe that'll be kind of the saving grace there.
All right, well, so you had Spider-Man Homecoming, you had Spider-Man Far From Home, which was the second, and then you had Spider-Man No Way Home. What if No Way Home was the beginning of the climax, and then the 4th one is going to be where you finish climaxing, and then the next 2 are going to be, kind of bringing it down? I mean, what about an extended release of the climax?
I'm all for extending the climax. I'm experienced. I don't know how much Mantis talks about our band, but we get lots of climaxes in our shows. Sometimes in the after show. Like, I want my climax to last as long as possible. If we can get the climax to be at its peak and bridge the 2 sets of movies, trilogies, that's like, oh.
Well, like you had 2 movies setting up the climax. The 3rd one starts the climax. The 4th one finishes the climax, and the other 2 are the cleanup phase.
Yeah. We don't want to finish too early is the problem. Like, we want to keep that climax going.
But you also,
as far as possible in the Spider.
You want to limit how long afterwards that these next two movies spend in the wet spot, right?
Yeah, because that's no good. That's no good. I mean, any rock star, I'll tell you that. If it's wet, you could slip. You don't want to slip. You don't want to end up on the ground. Stuff all over you. It's not good. And again, I don't have a problem with the character. Mantis and I kind of talked about this off air because he was telling me you're gonna be talking about Spider-Man. I was like, Spider-Man, what? But he said, Andrew Garfunkel. Garfunkel. It's not. What was his name? What's his name? Andrew something.
Garfield.
Garfield. That's right. I got the
Yeah.
music on my mind. Yeah. Tobey Maguire, which I told you we saw. I almost got his autograph. Him, and then you got Tom Holland. I'm cool with all of them. Again, it's a thing of nostalgia again. I think you kind of the same age as me, right? You grew up with Tobey Maguire, right? But
I didn't
Tom
actually
Holland
grow up
did-
with him. We didn't know each other, but no, yeah. I mean, age-wise, yes, we were there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Age, yeah. And Tom Holland though, he did real well too. I just think they've had good actors in the character. You just don't want it to go on too long and sour. I think that's what my point is. Like, I just don't want it to get to the point where you just loathe Tom Holland being Spider-Man.
Now, to be fair, though, especially in the Marvel world, we've had Hugh Jackman as Wolverine since 2001, right?
Did you say huge Jackman?
Hugh.
Hey, Mantis, that's oh, sorry. So we'll do this off.
Yeah, so maybe hold off there and not,
Okay.
yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right,
That's my bad.
Hugh Jackman
Hugh. Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
as Wolverine since 2001. I think X-Men actually released in like 2002, but he was starting the character, and he's getting ready to come back in Deadpool 3 in 2024. So we've had him for 22 to 23 years as Wolverine, and it's only gotten better.
Oh yeah. I never seen no X-Men. I don't know what you're talking about, but that's cool. I mean, if that works out, that's great. I'm just saying with the Tobey Maguire thing, I just don't want it to go. Like, I kind of got burnt out with him with 3, and maybe that was a writing choice and a movie choice that was just bad. But I just don't want Tom Holland to get in that same phase where I just loathe seeing him. Who's this Hugh Jackman? You say he's been there for how many years?
About 22, 23 years he's been playing Wolverine.
Damn. So
he's
how many
older than
movies-
we
I
are.
mean, Shit. He looks pretty good though as Wolverine. I think I seen a poster of him. Like, he looks like he's still in pretty good shape. He's going to be in that new Deadpool movie, right?
What I just said about literally 30 seconds ago. But yes, you're right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what I thought you were talking about. No, that's cool, man. I mean, there are outliers for sure. I don't know. I think he could do well.
What are
as
the outliers in
Spider-Man
this
2.
context? Please, would you mind going into a little more detail on that?
Yeah, man. The outliers are like this thing on the fringe, right? And like,
Would you say they're fringy?
what's that? Yeah, Mantis talks about fringy a lot. I don't know. He was going on about that a little while ago, like fringy this, fringy that. I don't know. He saw it in a movie or a video or something. I don't know. It was weird. But yeah, I mean, it's an outlier. I mean, I feel like Hugh Jackman, he did pretty well as Wolverine. He looks like Wolverine from this TV show. Like, I know Mantis has been talking about this a while. The X-Men animated series on Amazon that they just started up again. They from back in the day. Like, if I see Hugh Jackman, that's who I look at, right? I think the issue or the thing with Spider-Man is I don't think it really matters who you see as Spider-Man. They all kind of look like Spider-Man. Like I could see all three of them play Spider-Man.
Well, the interesting thing is when you think about and with No Way Home, where they brought all three of them together, you saw them all at different periods. Or like Tobey Maguire was obviously the oldest; he was the original, and then Andrew Garfield was in that mid-age range, and then Tom Holland was obviously the kid. So it's kind of like you saw the age progression of Spider-Man kind of lined out through the timeline as they got older, right? So it's kind of cool to see the old Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, where he's older. He definitely thinks a lot more about the decisions he makes. But then you had, the opposite contrast with Tom Holland, where he's very impulsive right now. He's still learning, and he's going through all of these things that the older Spider-Man had already gone through. So I thought that was an interesting contrast.
Yeah, man. That movie was so great. Like you got to see all of them in one spot, right? Like I think that's what people enjoy. And you talked about nostalgia. Like again, bringing back this past, like living in that makes you think about the good times, right? Like I don't know how much more they can do of that. You know what I mean?
Well, I think for them at least, this is it, right? Like you did a little bit of it when you kind of crisscrossed with Charles Xavier kind of coming in to where you actually saw him in like the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. You saw Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier again with the Illuminati. You've seen him a couple of times where they've kind of blended those universes, right? So you got that little bit of nostalgia. But here, I think this is the last bit of nostalgia. Like they don't have anything else to pull on. Giggity. So like that's it, right? This is it. So you got to make this work, and this is why I think movie 4 is going to be so important.
Yeah, man, I agree. I think like this next movie, if they're gonna try and set him up for future installments, whether that be with other Spider-Man movies or whether that be inside the MCU, they're gonna have to nail this next one down.
I agree. So, guys, I will say if you've made it with us this far, we definitely appreciate it. Let us know down in the comments how you feel. Would you like to see Tom Holland play Spider-Man for another 3 movies, actual Spider-Man movies, let alone, obviously we're going to have Avengers versus X-Men coming up, and then Avengers Secret Wars is slated to come up. So let us know, do you think he should continue the run while he still looks like he's a kid? Or is it time to reboot? Or let Spider-Man go, or maybe bring in Miles Morales. Like there's several different avenues. So let us know, like what do you think should happen? What would you like to see? And as always, if you've made it with us this far, we definitely appreciate it. Consider giving this video a like. Now, Xander, I know you're new to this, but this is where Mantis would usually point somewhere on the screen that he wants me to put the like. You can't see it now.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to imagine. It's going up. All right. So where Xander is pointing right now. Yep. Right there.
Do I keep doing that?
I think we've all had enough. You're good. Yeah. You could go ahead.
Okay.
You go ahead. Put right there. That's good. Consider giving the video a like, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the bell and everything else they make you do, so you get more of our videos as we continue to bring you all of the news on the MCU as well as the DCU and other. We just did a Fallout video as well. Well, Mantis and I did a Fallout video. Xander, I think you missed that one. And
yeah, man, I was writing our new song, man.
Can't wait to hear it. Milk Steak has just continued to put out a steady stream of hits, so I'm excited to hear the next one there too. Just to let you guys know, if you do stay to the end of our videos, the song that plays at the end of the video that I've got the credits on, that is by Milk Steak. So, Xander,
Wait, what?
I mean,
wait.
What? Do what?
Wait, what song did? What are you talking about? Because we didn't license anything.
What are you talking about? So I was just signing off on the video here. So guys,
Mantis, you mother. This shit's done. We need to talk out of this because look, motherfucker, like I didn't license none of my music. Me and Mantis gonna talk about this
all right, guys. So definitely thank you, and we will catch you on the next one.
later.